Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed at Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Cebu Pacific Air welcomes you to Manila. On behalf of our flight deck crew headed by Captain Asnar, with First Officer Pimentel and the rest of the team, we thank you for choosing Cebu Pacific, your airline of choice. So today we're going to visit 10 historical landmarks in the Philippines. So without further ado, let's go to our first destination, Rizal Park. Rizal Park, also known as Luneta Park or simply Luneta, is a historic urban park located in Ermita, Manila, Philippines. It is considered as one of the largest urban park in Asia, covering an area of 58 hectares. It is previously called Bagong Bayan. Rizal Park or Luneta Park was built as a tribute to our greatest national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal. It is one of the leading historical sites in the Philippines where Rizal was executed by the Spanish military firing squad on December 30, 1896 because he had spread the ideas of revolution against the Spanish rule. But nowadays, it is one of the major tourist attractions of Manila. The park became a favorite spot for unwinding and socializing. It is also a place for family bonding and picnics during Sundays and holidays. Now, let's go to our second destination, Corregidor. Corregidor, also known as to be the Rock. Corregidor is known for its important historical attractions when the Japanese invaded the Philippines. Corregidor became the headquarters of the Allied forces and also the seat of Philippine Commonwealth government. The huge firearms of Corregidor, which are used in support for Filipino and American defenders of Bataan, are now silent, but the damage seen on buildings, structures, and tunnels in the island continues and telling a very moving story of a war that has claimed so many lives. A visit to this former battleground is a memorable experience, especially for those people who value and cherish freedom and peace. Our third destination is Intramuros. Intramuros is known in history as the Walled City because of its most famous feature, a nearly 3-mile long circuit of massive stone walls and fortifications that almost completely surrounds the entire district. It is the oldest district and historic core of Manila, where old Spanish era influences are still plentiful. Photography and history lovers will find Intramuros an interesting destination. If you visit the place, you can still feel the Spanish ambience and appreciate the historical landmarks and churches in the area. Plus, visiting Intramuros is very affordable and worth your time. Going here, you can experience the past in a modern light. Let's go to our fourth destination, Aguinaldo Shrine. Aguinaldo Shrine. The shrine is the ancestral home of Emilio Aguinaldo, officially the first president of the Philippines, the only president of the first Philippine Republic. The house was built in 1845, made from wood, and reconstructed in 1849. Here, Aguinaldo was born on March 22, 1869. The Emilio F. Aguinaldo Shrine is a national shrine located in Kawit, Cavite in the Philippines, where the Philippine Declaration of Independence from Spain was declared on June 12, 1898. To commemorate the event, now known as Araw ng Kalayaan or Independence Day, a national holiday. The Philippine flag is raised here by top government officials on June 12 each year. The house is now a museum. Our fifth destination is Baraswain Church. Having earned the titles as the cradle of democracy in the East, Baraswain Church is the most important religious buildings in the Philippines. It was founded by the Augustinian missionaries in 1859 and served as the session hall of Malolos Congress, the first congress in the Philippines, which was held in September 15, 1898. Under the presidency under the presidency of Pedro Paterno, three major events in the Philippine history happened in this church. The convening of the First Philippine Congress, September 15, 1898, the drafting of the Malolos Institution, September 29, 1898, January 21, 1899, and the inauguration of the First Philippine Republic, January 23, 1899. The architectural design of the church attracts and engages visitors because of the curved facade, rose windows, and medieval bell tower. Its floral motifs and paintings of angels and saints along the ceiling adorn the interior of the church. Let's go to our sixth destination, Leyte Landing Memorial Park. If you ever drop by Tacloban City, the Leyte Landing Memorial Park, formerly known as the MacArthur's Park, is a must-visit destination. Remember the promise made by General Douglas MacArthur, "I shall return." He kept his promise when he returned with an army of 700 ships containing 174,000 American soldiers at the Red Beach, Palo Leyte on October 20, 1944. The red in Red Beach doesn't refer to the natural color of the sand, but its color after being drenched in blood. Many tourists visit the park to reminisce an important event in history, the fulfillment of General MacArthur's promise to Filipinos to come back and help them win against the Japanese colonists. It always brings inspirational memories of how our beloved ancestors fought for our freedom. Our seventh destination is the Fort Santiago. Fort Santiago, located in Intramuros, is a famous tourist destination in the Philippines. It is a historical structure that is part of the city's famous wall. The attraction of the site is a museum where you can find a replica of Dr. Jose Rizal's prison cell before he was executed. The rest of Fort Santiago has been set up into a beautiful park. There is also an imitation of old dungeons, dark underground chambers or cells used to confine prisoners. You can just imagine how hard it is to be imprisoned, tortured, and executed in one of them. Fort Santiago, built in 1593, is a citadel built by Spanish navigator and governor Miguel Lopez de Legazpi for the new established city of Manila in the Philippines. The defense fortress is located in Intramuros, the walled city of Manila. The fort is one of the most important historical sites in Manila. Let's go to our eighth destination, Mactan Shrine. The Mactan Shrine, located in Mactan Island in Cebu, is made in honor of Lapu-Lapu, Ferdinand Magellan, and the Battle of Mactan. It is also known as Liberty Shrine, and it lies on the very ground where the battle took place. The said encounter was between the Spaniards led by Ferdinand Magellan and the locals led by Lapu-Lapu. Ferdinand Magellan and his crew were the first people to introduce Christianity in the Philippines. In the quest to prove that the earth is not flat, he traveled the world and docked in Mactan, where he was eventually killed by Lapu-Lapu on April 27, 1521. Lapu-Lapu is recognized as the first native of the archipelago to have resisted the Spanish colonization. Our ninth destination is Rizal Shrine. Rizal Shrine is an important historical place in Dapitan where Dr. Jose Rizal spent 4 years in exile. He lived here as a physician, merchant, farmer, inventor, painter, sculptor, archaeologist, linguist, grammarian, teacher, architect, poet, biologist, composer, surveyor, and environmentalist. He was also a father and brother to all the Pitanos, serving and helping those who needed him. No wonder Dr. Jose Rizal is considered as the Philippine national hero. Rizal Shrine nowadays is one of the most attractive tourist spots in the Philippines. It reflects Rizal's lifestyle and how he socialized with the people around him. Our last destination for today is Banawe Rice Terraces. Can you imagine how in the world could they have accomplished this amazing feat? The Banawe Rice Terraces was made approximately 2,000 years ago, carved into mountains by the indigenous people using only their hands and some crude equipment. It is said that if the step were put end to end, it would encircle half the globe. It is considered as one of mankind's greatest engineering accomplishments. In 1995, various sections of the terraces were designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, described as a living cultural landscape of unparalleled beauty. While the rice terraces were important to the Ifugao economy, they also serve a cultural function requiring intensive cooperation among the people.